The video is based on publicly available information, and all claims made in the video are backed by proper citations and references. Today, the world is facing a seismic shift in geopolitics as Russia launches a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. We'll be exploring the global reactions to this unfolding crisis. Before we dive into the international reactions, let's briefly understand the context of the conflict and the events leading up to this historic moment. The Russia-Ukraine war started in February 2022, when Russian forces invaded Ukraine, claiming to protect the rights of the Russian-speaking population in the eastern and southern parts of the country. Today, we'll examine the impact of the war, the diplomatic efforts to find a solution, and the future prospects. But first, let's explore how our country views this ongoing crisis. As the Russia-Ukraine conflict unfolds, the international community grapples with the escalating crisis. The opening scenes vividly depict the diverse reactions from key players, setting the stage for a broader examination of the geopolitical landscape and the ensuing diplomatic efforts. The world watches with bated breath as the crisis deepens. Today, we bring together representatives from diverse nations to discuss the impact, diplomatic initiatives, and the global response to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. What different countries say Russia-Ukraine war? Let's take a look. India, while expressing its deep concerns, recognizes the need for a unified global response. As a nation committed to regional stability, we emphasize the urgency of finding a diplomatic solution to prevent further escalation. The United States stands firmly with Ukraine, and we will work tirelessly to hold Russia accountable for its actions. Our commitment to a free and sovereign Ukraine remains unwavering, and we call on our allies to join us in this endeavor. Ukraine faces a dire threat to its sovereignty and the values we hold dear. We urge the international community to stand united against this aggression and support our struggle for freedom. The time for decisive action is now. China recognizes the complexity of the situation and acknowledges Russia's security concerns. While refraining from explicitly labeling the events as an invasion, we advocate for diplomatic dialogue to ensure a peaceful resolution. The United Nations echoes the global call for an immediate halt to hostilities. I extend a personal plea to President Putin to consider the devastating human cost and the urgency of diplomatic intervention in the name of humanity. NATO remains resolute in condemning Russia's aggression. The alliance will take all necessary measures to ensure Euro-Atlantic security. Our collective response will be strong, coordinated, and unwavering. The United Kingdom, in solidarity with our allies, will not tolerate this assault on democracy. We are committed to imposing massive sanctions to hold those responsible accountable for their actions. The European Union, united in purpose, pledges the harshest sanctions in its history against those responsible for the aggression. We stand shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine and will ensure that the Kremlin faces unprecedented isolation. Leaders from across the globe echo their condemnation, calling for Russia's immediate withdrawal. The international community stands united against this unjustifiable act of aggression, underscoring the gravity of the situation and the need for a collective response. As the world grapples with the unfolding events, diplomatic efforts intensify in search of a resolution to this crisis. The impact of the conflict resonates globally, with nations joining forces to address the threat to peace and stability. Our country has been closely monitoring the situation in Ukraine, recognizing the severity of the crisis and its potential implications for our region. Include relevant statements from your country's leaders. Now, let's delve into three key aspects of the conflict. The war in Ukraine has created one of the worst humanitarian crises in Europe since the Second World War. Include relevant statistics and facts. Our country has been one of the major donors of humanitarian aid to Ukraine, contributing more than $100 million since the start of the war. We believe that humanitarian aid is not only a moral duty but also a way to show our solidarity and friendship with the Ukrainian people. The diplomatic efforts to resolve the war have been extensive, with initiatives like the Minsk Agreements and the Normandy Format. Include relevant details about your country's involvement. We have actively participated in diplomatic dialogues, urging all parties to respect international law and engage in constructive negotiations. The future of the war is uncertain and depends on various factors. Discuss potential scenarios, risks, and challenges. In my opinion, the best scenario for the war is a peaceful and lasting solution that respects the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. I hope that the parties will show more flexibility and responsibility, leading to a resolution that allows the people of Ukraine to live in peace and dignity. To conclude, the war in Ukraine is a complex and critical issue that affects us all. Our country remains committed to supporting Ukraine and contributing to diplomatic efforts for a peaceful resolution. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more updates on this evolving situation.